Hello, everybody. Welcome to this live in Infinite Being School. If you're watching in the future, hi. I'm Crystal, and I'm the creator of this school, which is basically this Facebook online community where we unschool from all the things we thought was real and start to open ourselves to the possibilities that exist beyond that maybe it's been hard to choose. And today I really want to dive into some around money and the big five. What's up? What's up with that? How do we start to change it? You're going to notice on my screen there's a domain called clearingwithcrystal.com. There's some new clearing loops in the shop around the big five with money. So for all of you guys watching live, hello. I would be very grateful for your participation today. And one of the things that, if you don't mind doing now, that would really help me is, what is it that you've been trying to change with money? And so the way you can write this is, I've been trying to change, fill in the blank, and my question about it is fill in the blank. I've been trying to change da-da-da-da-da, and my question is. So if you guys could look at that in your world while I get started here. In Access Consciousness, and I talked about this on my show yesterday, so if you go check out the show, Can You Change Never-Ending Patterns? You're going to get a big kind of expose on this, but I talked about yesterday about the things that keep patterns in place. And one of the things I see repeatedly with money is that people kind of keep coming back to the same problem, right? So I know for me, for a long time, my problem with money was like, I just never have enough. It's always seemed like money would come in and money would go out, and I just never had enough. And that was my big problem with money. So it wasn't until I made a demand of myself and went, okay, whatever it takes, I'm not doing this reality anymore, and really started studying the How to Become Money workbook, that I got active, vibrant, full life change, like forever change. So I am going to be doing another one of those classes here in the next couple of weeks, but I want to talk about how these 5 elements that we've just now identified as the big 5 keep us in that zero-sum game. And the thing is that whatever it is that you are dealing with around money is your zero-sum game with money. And a zero-sum game, it's like zero-sum game, is a game where nobody wins and nobody loses and everything basically stays status quo. Okay, so let's look at some of this here. I've been trying to change the number of participants attending my class, and I want a bigger number. Okay, so let's look at this as, how many of you guys have classes and you want more people there? Me too. I've been really looking at this. So what I've been doing is I've been taking these 5 elements and I've been applying them to what it is I say that I want. One of the first things you have to look at with anything that you want to change is, what's my basic assumption about this? What's my basic assumption about people in my classes? And what you're going to start to discover is your presumptive realities. Now, presumptive realities are those things where they're just facts. They're just what feels so true that you can't change it. So if I look in my world, what's one of my presumptive realities around live classes? Now, for me, there's difference between live and online. One of the presumptions that pops up immediately every time I ask, still, and I've been really working on this, is live classes are hard. Now, here's the thing about a presumptive reality. You have to prove it correct. So whether it's conscious or unconscious doesn't matter. And unconscious ones are worse because you don't know they're there running the show, but they're running the show all the same. So here I am out in the world creating live classes, and they're staying really small because why? Because I can't prove that live classes are easy because I don't have that as a presumptive reality. I have to prove live classes are hard, and smaller classes are harder. They're harder financially. They're harder on you as a facilitator. Those 2 things are probably everything right there. So live classes are hard. Then I have the need to react to prove that's true. So my reaction would be the creation of small classes, which I can then look at and fight and be dissatisfied about and be in pain about. And then I need the need of reactive response system. So I need the correct response to prove live classes are hard. So that would be the connection with other people who have a similar point of view, where we can all then go, see, these are hard. And then there's the artificial stuff looping us back into the original presumption. Now, then there's this fifth element, like I need to be a savior. So this is really a linchpin for all of this, because so I have the presumption that live classes are hard, but I also have the need to be a savior. Okay, so can you see how these two things would instantaneously put me into conflict? So I need to be a savior of all the people, but live classes are hard. So I have to go do them of necessity because I need to be a savior, but then I have to prove that they're hard of necessity because I can't be wrong about my point of view. I mean, that's instantaneous fuck up across the board. Even just talking about it, I think is so hilarious. Now, all of that is just the circus distracting me from the choices I really have, which are like living over here in infinite being land somewhere, right? This is why we call the school Infinite Being School. How do we be an infinite being here? Would an infinite being live in the big five or something else? Well, when you ask yourself that question, I know when I ask myself that question, I'm like, I would live in something else. But I'm over here doing the big five reality with class creation as if that's my only choice. Because I've never recognized it. Two, I never recognized it, and I never chose anything beyond it. That's it, recognition and choice, okay? So the reason I want to keep talking about these is because I want you to start to see what element what's your bottom line presumption creating the difficulty? What's your proof? What are you doing to prove that presumption correct? What is the responses you're looking for in order to prove that presumption correct? This is the conversation that is changing everything. All right. Now, the other thing I really want to emphasize in this conversation is that at clearingwithcrystal.com, there's new clearing loops to start breaking this shit up. Because the other thing I want you to pay attention to is how much of this is unconscious for you. Me too. I mean, I'm stumbling into more and more areas all the time that I'm finally willing to get present with that are built from massive amounts of unconsciousness. And when you start to face these things, and money is one of these things that only changes when you face it, you start to find all this just bullshit in there that you didn't even know was there. Kind of like, I'm watching the show Hoarders a lot right now. Kind of like that. Like you've been hoarding all this unconscious presumptive reality all this time without really acknowledging it. And by the time it gets 30 years down the road or 50 years down the road and you look back, you're like, oh my God, there's such a backlog of unconsciousness. Well, that's got to be handled. Now, the cool thing about energy is that the fastest way to handle it is just to choose something else. But if you can't get access to another choice, let's just say class creation is actually easy, but you've never chosen that. And you don't feel like you can. Well, that's where the tools come in. Okay, well, all the big five holding the no choice in existence. You can right, wrong, good, bad, right, wrong, good, bad, POD, all nine shorts, boys, POVs, and beyonds it. Okay, that's the clearing statement. Clearingwithcrystal.com to watch a video. Ooh, this is tricky. All right, let's do another one. Thank you guys so much for playing with me. Steph said, I've been trying to change my resistance to making a lot of money. What keeps me stuck in poverty? Okay. Choice is what keeps you stuck in anything. You're choosing it. Now, the thing that makes it feel like you can't change it and makes it feel like a stuck thing is that it's presumptive reality. Presumptive reality feels like a fact and that you can't change it. That's what makes you feel stuck. So the thing to start to look at with this is I've been trying to change. Anybody relate to trying to change something around money and it doesn't seem to change? How many presumptive realities around that thing do you have? One, more than one, or a megaton? And everything that is times a godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, all nine shorts, boys, POVs, and beyond. So this is what the clearing loop's for, to start to break that stuff up. I've been trying to change my resistance to making a lot of money. Okay, so what's your presumptive reality about making a lot of money? That's something to look at. What's your presumptive reality around making a lot of money? Do you get that it's for you? Do you get that you can? Do you get that it's only for other people? What's your presumptive reality around making a lot of money? And here's the other thing around money, especially when it's not changing, is it's so vague even for you that you don't even know what to create. What does making a lot of money mean? Have you ever looked at that? Have you guys ever sat and looked at why you won't take action on something? Not like, why won't I take action? And then just sitting there bitching about it, but actually looked at it like, I'm not taking action on this, so I clearly don't care about this. What is it that you value that you haven't even chosen yet because you've been so distracted by the thing you think you can't do? I can't outcreate my dad. It makes me different than those around me. So my presumptive reality is if I have a lot of money, I'm different. Okay, cool. So this is what you do. All the big five making that significant. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all night, shorts, boys, play with demons. Because what we want to do to create a different reality is also recognize we've got 10 full keys to freedom. We got freedom available to us if we're willing. We don't have to stay trapped in limited reality. We've got freedom available, but there's keys to the freedom. And this is in the book, The 10 Keys to Total Freedom, which I can put a link here as well, written by Gary and Dane. There's keys to freedom. One of the keys to freedom is going, okay, I can't outcreate my dad. Well, would an infinite being not be able to outcreate their dad? No, an infinite being could do fucking anything they want. Am I an infinite being? Yes. Am I choosing to be an infinite being? No. Okay, so what else is possible? All the big five I'm using to not choose to be an infinite being that I'm choosing, right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, poet, man. Would an infinite being refuse to be as different as they are, or would they just choose? So this is a key to freedom. Another key to freedom is everything's just an interesting point of view. So that's another body of tools that you can play with, right? And if you guys go into infinitebeingschool.com, and if you've already done that, you have these in your library, you have a whole little digital course on those keys, okay? From me, you're welcome. Now, if we bring in the 5 elements that this is, it's like the presumptive reality is what? I can't outcreate my dad. Okay, the need of reaction to prove that correct is what? Well, I don't make money because I have to prove I can't outcreate my dad. And then the need of reactive response systems is what's the response you're looking for in order to either outcreate or to not outcreate. You know, are you looking for validation for somebody to give you permission? Are you looking for somebody to tell you you're good enough? What response are you seeking that you're not getting, that you're using to not choose? And then what loops you back into the presumption that you can't do it? You see what I'm saying? So all the big 5 you're using to create that, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. All right? The big 5 are so much how we think reality works. It's like living in the Matrix, literally. It is like that. It's like the thing to get is you can't change something from within these 5 elements. If you are living a presumption, I can't outcreate my dad, and that just feels true and real and like you've never known anything else, then what you're trying to do is create your reality from the presumption as reality. This is reality, but I'm going to try to create my reality anyway. That's what we're doing. And the reason your reality never changes is because you can't do that. You have to prove this presumption correct. So as much as you might be on one hand making efforts in a different direction, the reason the tetherball always returns to the post is the presumption. So you have to handle the presumption. You have to handle what it is that you're proving true and real. And you know that by what's showing up in your life. Whatever's showing up in your life is the proof that you've created of what you've presumed to be real and true. So let's look at another one. I've been trying to change the never enough. Same thing, like what's your presumption holding that in place, holding never enough in place? There's never enough. I can't create more than this. I'm never going to have enough. I'm never enough. How many presumptive realities do you have holding never enough in place? Everything that is times a godzillion, right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. Because every time I try, I fail. Yes, Because first of all, trying's not choosing. And second of all, you're not being honest with yourself about what you are proving correct. All this stuff around money is just the topic around which we create a reality of not enough. It's in and of itself a concept. It's not real. Money is just a system of exchange. It's like, if you look at the ascent of money on YouTube, it's this documentary series on the history of money. It's so good. And what you learn is that money's been all kinds of things, all kinds of ways throughout all history. It's been shells and metals and furnitures and services, and it's been lots of things. Now it's turned into this digital thing. But so money's just a concept. We have to physically manifest it as something in order to use it as a medium of exchange. But so we use this conversation of money to create a reality of not enough, to prove things. So it proves that we can't. It proves that we never will be able to. We use money to diminish our power based on these elements. And so it's the elements of what we've created money as, that it isn't, that hold the impossibility of it in place. So how many presumptive realities about money are you using to never have it are you choosing? And everything that is times a godzillion will you destroy and create it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all night, shorts, boys, povids, and beyonds. How many need of reactive realities are you using to never have it are you choosing? To prove. How many need of reactive realities are you using to prove that you can never have it are you choosing? And everything that is times a godzillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all night, shorts, boys, povids, and beyonds. How many need of reactive response systems are you using to prove your need of reactive realities and presumptive realities are you choosing? And everything that is times a godzillion. And how many artificial intelligence actualizers are holding all of that in place? Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pock, all night, shorts, boys, povids, and beyonds. And how much do you need to be the savior? A little bit or a megaton. And is all of that what you're doing to maintain your zero-sum game with money? Now, I know this stuff is weird. I know this sounds like I'm speaking Greek and Japanese on a windy day on helium. That's okay. What I would really encourage you to do is stay really present with this Big Five conversation. Get yourself to a foundation class. My next one's in South Africa. Get yourself to Clearing with Crystal and get these clearing loops, because as you start to clear out the unconsciousness around these elements, what you're going to start to do is see what you're doing. For money to not work, you have to be doing unconsciousness. When you add consciousness, which is like shining a light, what is this? What can we do with it? Can we change it? How can we change it? What are we doing? What am I doing? I'm proving. I'm proving what? I'm proving that I can't. I'm proving this is hard. I'm proving I can't, and this is impossible. Okay, cool. Do I need to keep doing that? I mean, I could. What else is possible? Do I have other choices? Yes. Okay, maybe I'll explore those. So it's breaking up the unconsciousness around this so that you can see it, you can recognize it, and you can ask yourself what other choices you have. So head to Clearing with Crystal, grab your money clearing loop. It's awesome. These clearing loops that I make are the loop. They're the PDF of all the clearings. So then you can also, if you're really great at extrapolation, take the prefaces to a lot of these clearings and apply them to other things in your life. You've got an intro to the Big Five in there. You've got an intro to the clearing statement in there. I think there's there's like 7 things you get when you buy these clearing loops. They're so good. And a loop is to put on your device, your phone or your computer, and into a playlist on repeat so that you can just play it at a low volume all the time. And what it starts to do is it just starts to shave off all that unconsciousness around this. Will it create your life for you? No. Will it give you the space so that you can create something different? Yes. I adore you. I hope this was helpful. If you loved it, share this group with a friend, please. And I'll see you tomorrow for another exposing conversation on the Big Five and bodies. Bye for now.